also like to say thank you for your patience. Maybe it's making so who are you? So let's talk about this part of the larger organization known as SDI, which is Strategic Governance Initiative. And what SDI is about is we set up largely to be part of the strategic initiatives that we have. At the aim to influence essential influence policy and influence change, particularly it matters and issues of Africa. Now, let's talk about this year. We use the medium of education, just wisdom and talent and phrases to highlight selected issues that are made to find solutions to the good results. I didn't know actually from this of the person of the which is different of medicine with the things. Now, we have previous episodes. If you go to our website, let us talk about what production and see how and this one as well. After this, all the different discussions, the questions, the people, the website. We can have a website now, the big testimony today is about GMO, genetic modified organisms, about GMO. Now, virtually all the discussions we have regarding GMO, particularly in Africa, has always been from the area of food safety. People concerned about what GMO is doing. People concerned about consumption. It has always been about consumption where GMO is concerned. And from my understanding, from my thinking, that the reason why we have this kind of conversations are in the debate are what I call is mostly because it kind of debates or flips from what I have seen as a real issue, which is food security here in Africa. So the narrative has always been about how safe GMO is for consumption. And then virtually all communities we have talks about how to say this be tested all. But then for me, where Nigeria and Africa is concerned, one which has been food security, and that's what we tend to examine today. Now, to understand GMOs and what GMOs are, which look at the whole ecosystem and the whole thing seeds. And one of the things we need to understand is that there are basically three types of seeds in the world. Where farmers are concerned, there are basically three types of seeds in the general world. So one, we have what we know as indigenous seeds. Two, we have hybrid seeds. And three, we have GMO seeds. These are the seeds that farmers need.
Okay, just an example of the illness of the perpetrators of these patents and rights. I think it's there in the last slide where India versus the United States, Monsanto was the one that patented a particular seed, and they also have patent on a particular herbicide. Roundup, thank you, sir. Roundup is an herbicide. What does the herbicide do? It kills weeds, it targets weeds, crops that you don't want, and it takes them out so that the one you planted but what did Monsanto do? They took soybean seed, normal soybean seed, and they genetically modified it by adding a gene cell that will make that seed resistant to Roundup. So that you plant the seed, wheat, corn, you use that chemical, Roundup. Everything else will die except that soil. And they called it genetic modification. Their narrative will not let you know, because this came out and it was an anomaly, it was unethical. The narrative will tell you that we have improved soybean so that it will do well under any circumstance. But what they were doing also was to be able to sell their herbicides. If you were going to use their herbicide, if you used another soybean seed, what would happen? It will die, right? So they will tell you, no, we have a better soybean variety that will work. But continue to use Roundup, it will kill every other thing. It doesn't affect our seed is powerful. So it's like a two-edged sword. They didn't do anything. It was still your normal seed that they gave to you, and they put a patent on it. And it became a whole lot of trouble. That exists in so many ways. Just about a month ago, sir, there was a release of the genetically modified cow that has been approved for the market. Where that will land us, we will find out very soon. So the point is, we need to own and we need to have control over this thing. The one that feeds you controls you, and we can't afford, that kind of slavery again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Meanwhile, you guys are not platforms, so you guys let's start from you. Thank you very much. Thank you. So she has.
Okay, my name is Sheyi Felaja. I'm an agribusiness management consultant, subject matter expert in the agri sector. And today we are speaking on food security, looking at the threat that genetically modified organisms have on our ability as a nation to feed ourselves. So that's what we're looking at, and that's what we're speaking to.
Can you tell us more about food security? Looking into the word food security.
Okay, food security simply is food being available for Nigerians. Let's talk about food security in Nigeria. That we have food that is affordable at the right quantity to supply the right nutrient for us to function properly, for you to be able to do your job, for you to be able to live your life. The amount of food that you require to be able to live vibrant, productive, excellent life. To have that in place is what we mean when we say we are food secured. So anything that threatens that, as far as genetically modified organism is concerned, is what we want to talk about today.
That's interesting. You know so well. Right now, let's talk about societal concern. That is our platform. On the platform of societal concern, we've actually seen that food security is really a challenge here. So how do you think we can handle this?
Okay.
This organization or this program trying to solve this problem?
The idea and the thrust of the program is to get us to be enlightened enough as to what the framework should be in accepting genetically modified organism, whether of plant or animal, into our space to tackle food security. Is it sustainable? That is what we want to look at. We want to look at, is it sustainable for us to have other countries, other climes, other nations producing seed for us, knowing fully well that your seed is the first point of solution in your food system. If you don't have seed, you don't have food. if you're not going to get seed, like we have been getting it for ourselves and we've been distributing it by ourselves for years through our farmers and farming practices. Now you now have a seed coming on board that says you can't do that because that's what GMO does to you eventually. GMO seeds are patented, meaning you will not have a right to use, to distribute, to share, or to reuse if you don't go and pay the one that gave it to you. And the danger for us right now is that most of the people that give it to us or that wants to give it to us are foreigners. You can't have your food source in the foreigner's hand.
So how do you think the government can help us to handle this?
Oh, the right laws, the right policies, just for it to have attention, knowledgeable attention as to how we will develop our own local seed bank. We will be able to improve our own seeds by ourselves without having to depend on, foreign countries. That is all that we need.
Okay, if you're talking about that, the population we have here in Nigeria, and not even talk about Africans, and looking about the ecosystem. How do you think, or how can we sustain this food security?
Okay, as at present, we know our population, and we know that we have smallholder farmers. As we speak, the smallholder farmers contribute more to our gross agricultural output than the commercial farmers. So the smallholder farmers are an integral part of our food security system. We need to run policies and frameworks that will help make them more productive, as against looking for quick wins with GMO. Because that's what it is. We're looking for quick wins.
So who are you talking about here for this?
Nigerians.
That's my last question.
Nigerians, government, everyone.
Thank you.
Because if you know what to do, you will be able to tell the next person what is proper and what should be done.
Because of some of the issues, what we look at GMO is, for me, it's like the baby and bathwater. And I also try to look at it as you don't throw away the baby with the bathwater, and that's where leadership comes in. And with how we're doing GMO, if you feel that you are not tall enough and you want to marry a tall woman because you want your children to be tall, that's GMO. You see, when I came out of the university, I was discussing with my grandfather, and he told me something. He said something. He said, you struggle with mathematics. If you're going to get married to a woman who is very sharp in mathematics so that your kids will be well balanced. And I took his advice, and that's GMO. Because they tell you that the trait for intelligence is on the X chromosome. Women are XX, men are XY. So if you marry an intelligent woman, it means that the intelligence will be transferred to your children. That's GMO. So sometimes when experts say all these things in high pharmaceutical words and they just bamboozle you with everything, some of these things, and you won't be able to understand. All our lives we've been practicing GMO. But I think we have to distinguish is which GMO is good for us and which GMO is not good for us. And that's where leadership comes in. Over time, in the last few months or so, I've been getting a lot of knocks on my Facebook pages because I started being my age, and I told people, I said, this gray hair is not let us stress. Something adds to it. And I've been telling a lot of African young people, I belong to a lot of forums where a lot of African young people come. I said, Africa, you need to define what you want in this world. Nobody is going to help you unless you help yourself. And a lot of Africans like to sit down and give up blaming everybody for their problems, give up blaming everybody for their woes. And nobody's coming up with
Africans, what are the things we need to do to help ourselves? 65% of the global arable land in the world presently are in Africa. I mean, a continent that has 65% of the global arable land, should that country be hungry? No. Why are we hungry? We say hungry. In Nigeria, the percentage of arable land being used in Nigeria for agriculture is just 44%. So what's happening to the rest? And we're still hungry. So those are the things we have to look into. A lot of things are happening. The world is changing. And as the world changes, you have to learn for you to be sustainable, for you to move from one generation to another generation. You have to understand how you're going to position yourself. Presently, Africa is a battleground. If you don't know that Africa is a battleground between the West and the East. And a lot of young Africans think that the best thing to do is now, okay, let's push away the West and let's embrace the East. It's like we're sending them all into the fire door. Nobody's asking, why can't Africa develop an African own system of development, of economic growth, of aviation, so that's what we're going to pursue. We are not doing it. But we want to see that and the world will change in the way we want it, and the world will move and pass for us and come and sit down and eat. It's not going to happen. All over the world, if you study civilizations and the historical wealth, if you study civilization will be more rising and rising. And those who make up for others to climb on their back, they will just climb on your back. They will match you and match you inside the ground so that they will rise. It's a natural phenomenon. So don't think that the West hates you or this person loves you or this person. No, it doesn't work like that. Everything is worked in. There's a lot of hunger all over the world today. There are great hunger, and because Russia and Ukraine are fighting, why is it affecting everybody? Because Russia and Ukraine produces about 49% of global wheat production. Under Ukraine, they control the wheat production. And aside from that, Russia and Ukraine alone has the manpower. They control about 65% of global manpower in shipping, marine. If you want to talk about those who have the skill set in seafaring, it's Russia and Ukraine. So when they started fighting, shipping companies don't have skilled personnel again. And we say we are having global logistics meltdown. That's what's happening. Every society should be able to develop itself. So you look at Egypt. Egypt has only 3% arable land. 3% of the total Egyptian space, only 3 are arable. 96% of Egypt is desert. But Egypt is the highest producer of 8 different crops all over Africa. That is the 7th highest producer of 6 other crops all over Africa. Then those who are not deserts, those countries are not desert, what are they doing? Israel is a desert. From beginning to end of Israel is desert. But Israel has self-sufficiency in food production. Those who are not desert, those that therefore are eating every day, what are they doing with the land? And the standard that they're blaming the East, they're blaming the West. What are we doing with the land? When we were growing up, every family from the back of the country I grew up with, immediately you enter every family, you will see up to 5 trees of oranges, mangoes, guava, everywhere over the compound. People who want to eat, they just walk and eat. Go to that same place today. Go to that same place. The one you're going to see are major mansions all over the whole places. No single fruit. No single fruit in any of those compounds. Every compound they use, cement and everything. There's no greenery. So we are talking about that we are hungry. We be hungry. Nobody's thinking about this thing. Do you know the Igbo delicacy they call tobacco? Do you know that 68% of the women that we eat presently in Nigeria are imported from the Middle? So I went for a meeting last Christmas, then I said to everybody that I asked them, I said, our ancestors, when we are growing up, we can point about that this is the woman of my grandmother, this is the this one of my grandfather, this is, I said, all of you now,
the same way in England now, open is a delicacy. I mean, if you go to a different, they give you one, you might fight because they didn't. I call some of the people who are doing it, and I said, are you people thinking about sustainability? Nobody plants this woman, they keep on speaking. Are you thinking about sustainability? How you will start planting things so that this thing will be sustainable? Nobody thinks about sustainability in Africa. Nobody thinks about tomorrow in Africa. But Africans like to sit down and tell the West about what's happening to them. We need to have a change of mindset. Before coming here yesterday, I had to engage about 3 farmers in northern Nigeria. Then I asked them about the issue of GMO. I said, what are you people doing about it? One of them told me, he said that where he lives in his own farm in Bauchi, that in the last 3 years, that they have not experienced up to 10% of rainfall. And he told me that without GMO maize, he wouldn't have been able to plant. Then we started talking. He told me, he said that I should know that in his second degree is in biotechnology. That some of this is, you see, part of the challenge we don't understand. You see, I've seen this world a lot. I've traveled a lot, and I've interacted with government at every level. I've seen Africa. I've been to 48 countries out of 54, interacted with government. You see, what in Africa don't understand is that you have to understand the interest behind that interest. The first thing I talked about Monsanto. Monsanto is producing seed. It's also producing. People are not using their herbicides. They go and meet some NGOs and also they keep on fighting against seeds that don't use their herbicides. And places people use their herbicides, they also have interest that they form to go and fight against those who are using GMO. You see that if you don't understand, if you can't trace the money, where is the funding coming from? Where is the activism coming from? When you know where the activism is coming from, then you understand whether that activism is actually in your own interest or not. But before you decide whether something is in your own interest, you have to itemize, know what is your interest. If you don't know what is your interest, you won't know what is against your interest. And a lot of people in Africa don't know what is actually our interest in Africa. And they are out there, pointing at people who are against their interest. Then you ask them, what is your own interest? They will know what is their interest. So that's what I'm telling us. You see, we have to sit down and understand some of these things. The way some of these things work. On 15th, my people had their New Year festival. The governor was there. I was present. Then I told them, I said, in a way, according to Igbo cosmology, this New Year festival you people are doing is of no substance. They said, what do you know? I said, the year you used to do the New Year festival, show me a year that is planted in that same ground, so that when the Mother Earth is blessing the yam, it is blessing the harvest in that. If you don't go and buy the yam from Benue, and you come and use it yourself. There are bands of yam. Every family has a band of yam. Certain band of yam. Today you travel there, you don't see any band of yam. Who is stopping you from planting your yam? Nobody. Who is stopping you from doing other things? You see, there's no time. Now we're talking into some of this things. But you see, when we talk about seed sovereignty, this and this, every country has the right to decide what is planted in his own country, to decide the seed sovereignty. Every country also has the right to go into biotechnology to decide what to do with the seeds that are available within this country. If your country is not doing it, others will do it for you, and you will start complaining. A few days ago, I read something about the pig's kidney that was used. They got a pig's kidney and they put it in the body of a human being, and they put it. And now, I've been watching it because it's online. It has stayed for a month, 2 weeks, and that kidney is still there working. Now they are thinking about, can we use pig's kidney for people who have kidney failure? But other people will hear about it and say, oh, you're not not doing that, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that. But when you know about the crime, human organ crime, how much human organ trafficking is causing the world, then you know that there is also necessity for us to start looking at alternatives, as long as those alternatives are there. Thank you very much.
Okay, my name is Elizabeth Williams. I'm a business and economy journalist, business economy editor, and head of the business desk at LN 24/7. Yes, it is quite interesting, because we are here for a very significant purpose or reason. One, because something is at stake, and that has to do with food security. And we've heard that there's a global conversation on food security, and it borders not just on the production of food, it covers the whole value chain, like production, distribution, and consumption. And so we are here to talk about weigh in into the pros and cons, the advantages and disadvantages of a particular practice in food production, which is, of course, the GMO seeds. And so there's been a lot of conversation around GMO seeds, whether it is healthy or not, whether it is sustainable or not. And so we are talking about it, and that's where we have the panelists having different conversation, different angles to the discussion, so we can actually make a headway and know whether to continue in this practice or what decision to make moving forward. Yeah, my opinion is the conventional way, the African tradition has always been the conventional way of practicing agriculture, and this conventional way has fed the population in decades. Time that our leaders and Africans, rise up and do the right thing, especially put policies in place that would help, preserve what we have as our tradition, as our culture, rather than, embracing everything that is thrown at us. So that's my take on that.
Food security is something that we need to interrogate ourselves as Africans, as Nigerians, as indigenous peoples, and decide whether the thing that is being told fits our story, or there are differences that we could see in relation to our experiences. Now, if you look at this context, there is a parallel. Just like you can see in any other dysfunctional outcome or output involving any other systems that are created around healthcare, around education, the economy. I'm going to say something very interesting here about interest, that you have to define your interest. You will see that this is essentially a narrative projecting somebody else's strategic interest against your interest. Now, there is a dichotomy about GMO and hybrid seeds. One of the panelists said here that GMOs are good, but I think what he was talking about was hybrid, not GMO. Because GMO seeds are genetically modified, genetically engineered to acquire certain predetermined traits. And effectively, they involve the inculcation or injection of genetic material from other species into other species to confer certain traits. as against hybrid seeds that are basically produced from the hybridization of different modern stocks, parent stocks, to produce a different daughter output. So GMO, in this context and in this concept, as I'm trying to address here this morning about whether we need it or not, is a different thing altogether comparable to hybrid seeds. Now, produced in Benue, in the Benue Valley, and over 50 from 45 to 60% are lost to post-harvest losses. So what we need is not GMO. What we need is the right governance structures to manage what we produce. I like the analogy of yam that you're talking about. We produce a lot of yams that are lost to the brown yam rot fungi because of lack of preservation and processing. So you see that while GMO seeds may be desirable in the countries that manufacture them, we visited a farm in Virginia in the United States, and we observed that in the US, GMO are strictly regulated. But here in Africa, they bring them and they don't want us to regulate them. And the reason is because, whereas when they are engineered, they don't use GMO as food. They use them to produce biofuels like the soya beans that is produced in that farm visited is used for production of biodiesel. And some other carbohydrate-based GMO foods are used for bioethanol, for energy production, for fuels. So the question is, here they say Africa is going through food insecurity. The question is, here they say that in Africa there are indicators. These indicators that are generated by NGOs, they call them NGOs now, that are funded by these companies and these states from without Africa to tell us that there are indicators that show that Africans are starving, Africans are not populated. As a researcher with about 24 years of university teaching and research, I can tell you that most of these narratives are lies. We are producing enough food, but we are losing a lot because of poor governance, poor agricultural practices. Yes, there are instances where, as a matter of fact, all of you seated here and those of you watching us online, in most African cities, including this city here, you can get a deal for as low as 200 naira. As much as the naira has devaluated so much, but you can get a deal for 200 naira. But the question is, a lot of people have been impoverished in Africa that they cannot access food that is of good quantity and good quality to sustain a healthy life.
You have the enabler of corruption, you have the corrupter and the actor in the corruption. So for example now, we talk about corruption in Africa. Everybody says corruption. And then we now look at an issue where, for example, I see what I call the double standards of the West, and where we have someone who's standing for the types of corruption is. Very simple. We are accused of nepotism in Africa, where someone who's appoints his brother or appoints something commissioner or a minister. But then we have the case of US and JFK, where JFK was the president. The Secretary of State was his brother, and then the Commissioner of Justice, one of the guys, so the top 5 offices in the US belong, they are the same brother and sister, the same brother appointed by the president, and America thought it was fair. We go and look at recently the case of Bango and his case against George Bush, and where at the end of the elections, somebody won the popular elections and then now came to the electoral college. And the electoral college votes had to be counted, and guess where was counted? Where one vote, the difference in vote had to be in the brother of the person who was running. And that was what determined what the case would be. Now we sat here and turn around and tell us how we are being corrupt, nepotism, and all these kind of things. Someone mentioned something, I know it was Mr. Decker mentioned some of it, and Mrs. Becky said that here they call it corruption, over there they call it lobbying. I mean, you can take a minister of state, the secretary of one of a called the minister.
My name is Susan Nadella. Can we identify experts in the field of agriculture within our fold? Now, our food, I would like to expatiate who have good and godly intentions to produce what we consume and use. This can then be regulated by experts. We're talking about patenting, and the events that happened from 2020, it's clear that some of the things we consume that we so-called that have been imported. There's possibility that those who are producing it have hidden agenda and evil intent. So if I'm grateful that we have leaders who have spoken very excellently, they can regulate this, and we can have exhibition to showcase some of these produce within our fold from time to time. And of course, we begin to patronize what we produce that has been regulated and controlled to be good for consumption. That's my question. Thank you very much, sir.
You are a farmer. You want to go into production. You don't know where your produce is going to. It's a problem. It's a problem. You need to be demanding. You don't have any business producing something that you don't know where it's going to. That you will have to wait and look for market and lose more than half of what you have produced before it gets to the end user. We need to be demand driven. Government from the government eye, so to speak. There has to be a value chain approach to our agribusinesses. If government is going to intervene, if government is going to plan, if government is going to do anything, it has to be enough of the silo thinking. Oh, you are thinking about the smallholder farmers. It doesn't end with the smallholder farmers. We have talked about the issue of storage, of preservation. If it's going to be in the market for 3 days, it should be in the market in a state where he that wants it can come and pick it and still have it fresh, not destroyed that it will be devalued. So we need that approach, system approach to different enterprises in the agri sector to prevent the issue of post-harvest wastes and wastages. And in the place where government is not formed, I consult and I tell clients, work as if there is no government. Because where you are making those losses in that same enterprise, some people are living out very good. All they need is to plan. Have that end in mind. Where will this thing go to when I am done? How much of the variables can I control, so to speak? You need to be able to handle those variables so that you will not be at the receiving end. And I would also, in that light, like to speak to the questions about research. Research works in the higher institutions of learning as to why are they not being used. It is simple. The educational system is faulty. So you have people researching to solve problems that most of the time they don't even know about. They don't know about it because they are not in touch with the industry. I was discussing with Prof like a couple of days back, and we've been able to come up with curriculums that will address the needs. You want to research to solve the problem in the agri space. You are in school. Don't meet a person that will use your research and have a discussion. Somebody mentioned, I think it was you that mentioned how that we need to have participation from everybody that leads. It's called design thinking, a multidisciplinary approach. So much so that when you are trying to even move, someone that is supposed to be enjoying what you are doing is already telling you, don't move like this. If you move like this, it will happen. I'm the one that is supposed to buy it from you. I'm supposed to take it off from you. So if you do like this, I won't be able to use it. So all this information will come to you at the ideation, iteration level. You don't come out big and now make insights error. You start addressing it. So the researchers should be tailored to solving problems, and there is a felt need to meet the one that has the lead. Ask the what are they called? Friesland about the milk problem in Jos. Oh, why are you still importing milk products to come and reconstitute from Denmark, from Netherlands, in Nigeria, where we have milk wasting in Jos, in Ilorin, in Ibadan, or in Oyo State? What can we do to tie you to those, wastages? And they will begin to work. That research, I tell you, will not be left in school. It will be on the shelf. Whether government wakes up to it or not, as a private sector person that you have engaged the people that will use your research, you will make, you block holes with it, you will make money from what you are doing as it were. That is with the research. Then, lastly, sir, what does development mean for Africa and Africans in terms of food security? When that question came into my mind, speedily was India. India, roughly about a month ago, made a policy to stop the export of rice. That's not it. They stopped the export. Export, that is, rice produced in India is not going anywhere. It will be consumed in India. Why did they do that? It's an income earner for them. When it goes out, they earn FX, they earn more money. But they stopped it. Why? They follow the trends. They can see that there is food inflation happening. So, for them to be able to secure their own population, because if they export it, their population will look for rice and will have to pay higher for rice. So they said, rather than do that, we won't send rice out. Nobody should send Indian rice out. Leave it so that we can afford and buy it more affordable and eat. That is food security that they are onto. For Nigeria, for Africa, I would say we are arriving or we are getting there when we have those kind of decisions coming up. We don't have, the population here is enormous. Before we even start thinking, the only reason why we think export in this part of the world is selfish reasons. We want to make efforts, Whereas when you export, there is scarcity inside. You will buy for more what you were supposed to get cheap. In spite of the export and the effect. So we need to be able to balance all of those scenarios. Look at the weightier effect of some of the actions that we take. And we will land well. Africa has more smallholder farmers. Government should stop looking at commercializing or globalizing us. It was mentioned that we have over 60,000 seed crops. 60,000. But if you check global trade, the food that they have out of that 60,000, the ones that are making around, that everybody wants to tie over, so to speak, 12. 12, not 12,000, 12. Must we eat rice? Must we eat soya? Must we eat wheat? Must we eat corn? We have millet. We have sorghum. We have things that will substitute perfectly well for maize. Why are we not promoting it from Nigeria and leave the headache of maize to the people that want to die of it? They will bring seed oils. Albums are not seed oils. They'll tell you corn oil. They'll tell you rapeseed oil, canola. Seeds that were not, you will see those seeds by design. They were not supposed to be what is giving you oil. We have groundnut. There is groundnut oil. Easy. They'll tell you it's bad. That's the narrative. They'll tell you that no, it's not healthy. Palm oil, coconut oil. Those ones are Nigerian, indigenous to us. They'll tell you they're bad. You read the literature, that's what they'll tell you, that they are bad. That is palm oil or sunflower oil. Those things that you go to hell to bring oil out of. They're the ones that they put before us. And so they will complain about carbon load. Can you imagine the kind of energy that you will want to bring oil out of town compared to granules? That if you put granite on your paper, it starts dripping oil by itself. But they'll tell you no, it's the corn oil that is it. Why? Because they have genetically modified corn and it has produced excessively and they're looking for and where to get rid of it.
Thank you very much. Let's give a clap for our
We look at this multiverse, just take from one angle and process it. Basically, we have to Africa is still a very primitive society. And when you look at the evolutionary trend, we are still operating at the lowest level of human advancement. And that's why we have some of the challenges we are having today. It's like a kind of recipe for harvesting development, whereby you just, it's like somebody watching an iPhone 15 and the person is crawling into a cave. These are two issues that are so distinct. You live in a society where, like in Nigeria, in economics, we say that any society where people are spending more than half of their income on food alone is a criminal society. And there's nothing you can do about it. A man has to put food on the table. Anything that pushes an individual to find himself in a situation where he is unable to meet that need, that push and expect that individual to start taking at a higher level of muscles. That individual has already lost the ability to see life from a higher dimension that you're expecting him to do. As long as he can move from the table for his family, he does not even understand what you're talking about freedom of expression. He does not understand what you're talking about human rights. All these things does not really get into him. And when you're talking about how to vote for a leader, he is looking for food. And his thought pattern, everything about him is at that level of underground mentality. So he can become expecting to kind of go higher and start thinking higher thoughts of what is occurring in other societies. What we see, like you go to places like you see people are paying unemployment benefits. People have a lot of benefits that come to them that are not working. But for somebody in Africa, you think that the government is stupid. The government is not stupid because they know that the entire number of people you have who cannot meet their needs, the
greater your security challenges. There was one way of New York that said something. He said that if I see one man being on the street, it means that we have a bigger problem in the city. Because that's the broken window analogy. Like if you have one broken window, then it means that the security in that system is already there. So that's the problem with Africa. You can't talk about food security in exclusion of the greater security of the system and also at the level we are operating as humans. Thank you very much. Okay. And create a system that fits that understanding. You look at the problem of refineries in Nigeria, and we see these massive, big refineries that don't seem to be working. And then we have the what do you call them? Modular refineries that are working. If you go to Bayelsa, some those states, you see where local people are refining diesel, refining fuel, and they are doing it, even though at large, they're going to do waste, but they're doing so. Now, one of the ways they have tried to tackle the issues around this state has been big business. So you have people like that setting up massive tomato factories over. They've tried, but the problem we now found was there wasn't enough production at that time to meet some of the needs. So you set up these factories and you now find you don't have raw materials to make them. Now we have people like Tomato Jones and Co that are producing a huge amount. But you now find that, for example, a particular and do you 1 metric ton or 10 metric tons in an hour. And go at total production in that area and also 10 metric tons in a year. So I think that if you look at the model behind, if you look at the Pakistani, the Indian model, look at Pakistan, India especially, and China, they have small scale industries, more like village level industries where these processes take place and the efficiency of scale is achieved. So I think that I just want to add to that because somebody will be saying, thank you. Not really, I'm going to. So take care next.